our weekly news updates on gaming. Stop it.
There's no point dancing. They can't see you. They can only hear
I'm
you.
doing what Rianne was doing.
I'm
hitting the table.
gesticulating, I'm sorry. Where we don't have any name for this podcast, but we're going to work on it.
Yeah.
This week we're going to talk about a few things, including EGX, Batman, and a couple of game releases that we're quite excited about. So, do you want to get straight to EGX?
Yeah, can do.
Okay, so last week was EGX. We're too poor to go, so we didn't see it or go to it.
Cry every time.
Cry every time.
Yep.
Is nobody else going to input on anything? Did you want to go to EGX?
What, besides the fact that I was just too poor to
Like,
go?
what's EGX?
Oh my god!
Get out!
Remember when we were going to volunteer for that games festival a few months ago?
That one game
That was
festival,
EGX.
that one
So
time.
that was Alcon.
No.
Are
We
you
were
talking
gonna
about
do both.
Eurogamer?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Oh, yeah, I know what that is. I've never heard
Oh,
it called
God.
EGX.
No, neither have I.
It's 9:30.
It's not even late. What are you on about?
And you already feel like you're going to sleep.
No.
This has no idea what you're on about.
Okay, so regardless, we didn't see anything from EGX apart from articles, and the first topic we're going to talk about is the VR
Yes.
session. Basically, according to Chet Falzchek, a guy from Valve, he claimed that the VR headset, like Oculus Rift, doesn't give you nausea. It's down to the game developers. So it's all about level design rather than the actual technology.
Bull. Which can go kind of just either way, really, if I'm honest.
Well, no, you
Well,
said...
besides you said it's bull, but...
Well, yeah, I mean, because if you're wearing a virtual reality headset, which I've done myself, it's good fun, but the thing is that it's so disorientating, and that's what's causing the nausea, is, I suppose, in a way, it is the animation of the character and the way that it moves as you do, but at the end of the day, it's more about the actual act of the virtual reality.
Yeah. It's just... okay, yeah. It is just either way, realistically, just because it all depends on how it's all just programmed in, really. So it can just kind of go either way.
No, but wouldn't you say that if it was good level design, you'd have a period of time where you'd have the level so long before a person started to feel sick or started to get nausea?
If you broke it up sporadically with the level design of the HUD split up sort of thing, then it'd be okay. So if the levels were short, you also have to bear in mind that people that play on VR for a long period of time will get used to it. If you're new to it, then you're more susceptible to getting the motion sickness, which is why at the National Video Game Arcade we don't have the Oculus Rift out.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Yeah,
But
with a lot of
I guess
health
it's
and
just
safety.
like sickness as well, because like some people are bad at travel sickness and stuff like that, and some people affect it where obviously if you're just playing a game on your phone while you're traveling, you'll get sick. But some people find it a lot more easy to actually play like a racing game.
Yeah.
Because obviously it's that feeling of
The
actually
motion.
travel.
Yeah.
So obviously that affects people as well. So since you're sitting down and you're walking, obviously you're not doing both.
Yeah. So
So-
we're still being quite vague on the whole point, really, because there is neither any real yes or no answer to this. It's all based on who you are and how susceptible you are to this.
But it's interesting how you're like pointing out the motion thing, you know, when you're in a car and you're playing a racing game and you're going forward, because it said when I was reading up about it that one of the reasons why you get motion sickness using the VR was the fact that you were actually using a gamepad with it.
Yeah, and you aren't actually moving.
yeah.
That's exactly what threw me off at the festival when I played with one, because you stand still and it kept the movement of you moving left and right with your head and turning your body to side, but the forward and the backwards movement is done with a controller, which is part of the problem. Is that I always felt like I was moving. You know when you're in the sea and you're standing in like the shallow bit and you look down and the water goes past you and you feel like you're falling, sort of thing. It's that kind of that feeling. It's really difficult to explain.
It's just the angle where everything's at, realistically. Just get trying to think of the word now, but I can't remember. Think of the word.
That's
It's
your
just, yeah, it is. But it is just angle and how you just see everything realistically. Like I think there was videos of where people were getting like suspension done playing like Battlefield 3.
Yes,
Yeah,
on the
And
circular tracks.
And then like they're just walking
Yes.
everything like that whilst wearing like a headset, and obviously
That's
the
better
screen's
because
behind
you're
you.
more in connection with the
exactly.
movement itself. So that's what you were
It's
talking
going to
about.
be like in your head.
Yeah.
That's it. But does level design correspond? You know, is there a correlation between level design and is there a way we can make it better? Because there aren't going to be a lot of, especially indie devs, especially people like us trying to make games off the bat or any games jams. If they wanted to try something like making a game for Oculus or the Vive, the easiest way to do it and to code for it will be using WASD or joypads. So would there be anything that we could do as game devs to sort of help the level design so people get less nauseous, or do you not think that it's not as big as a problem?
I don't think it is just going to be depending on when the technology is going to be available. Because again,
it's the readiness and the accessibility of the technology. For example, the circular tracks, I can't remember what they're called.
No, I can't.
We're just going to call them circular tracks.
That's the description, I guess.
The game
tracks.
podium.
Something like that. It probably will be, knowing you. So it's that kind of thing that would make it perfect for everybody to use it. But until then, we're just going to have to make do with the sort of, we're in like the grey area between not having it and having it. We're not quite there yet with virtual reality. But is it right for them to then put this down as a statement and say that it doesn't cause nausea, or it does cause nausea?
It's a certified fact, but they're still not sure about it themselves.
I know, but why has this guy from Valve decided to say this?
It could be
What's the point?
a marketing ploy, because Valve and HTC are releasing the Vive, which is another VR headset. So him coming and saying that could be a bit... I'm not saying he's bullshitting it, but at the same time, he could be making it out like... Which is actually funny, because his actual quote here, he actually told the crowd, the idea that the VR must get you sick is bullshit.
Well, it's
not a statement.
It's a statement that works in both senses, but the thing is that it's been sort of, in this article, it looks like he's saying that it doesn't cause sickness at all. Yeah. But it does, but it mustn't. It's when people say it must cause it. No, it doesn't. It mustn't at all. That's not the right word at all. It can and could, but it won't should.
Yeah.
But if he's trying to polish this up and make it look like, oh no, it's totally harmless, it's not going to make you feel ill or anything like that, and it's definitely a marketing ploy, as you pointed out, then he's setting himself up for a nice hard fall when he gets all of these people saying, oh, it's making me ill.
The moment they release it, and the moment he comes back saying, oh, actually, they have to put on the warning.
Little Timmy puked again.
Yeah.
Damn it, little Timmy.
Please take travel sickness tablets before use or something.
I have to take them all back.
Yeah. Exactly. Just get refunds the entire time.
Please sign this piece of paperwork to say if you throw up on your favourite carpet, it's not our fault.
Yeah, pretty much.
Speaking of Batman, do you want to go straight to the Batman?
Well, this is just a quick article I obviously just brought up, but there's a possibility that there might be even more Arkham-based games, essentially, in that Arkham little universe that they're making, which is pretty funny due to the simple fact that the travesty, console did fine, PC didn't.
PC did not do well.
What? What PC game?
I don't know exactly when the Arkham Knight game released, but it's currently recording this on Tuesday the 29th of September, and I'm pretty sure they haven't fixed it yet.
Yeah,
they'll never fix it.
In fact, I'm pretty sure that they're not going to fix it. They might just possibly, maybe at best, finish it by Christmas.
I don't think they're going to finish it.
They're not going to bother. They would have done it by now.
It's going to be when the technology, when people get better PCs, and by better I mean like stupidly, ridiculously expensive, non-attainable PCs that we can get now.
Well, consoles done fine. It's like game of the year quality on consoles. It's perfect on console. It runs perfectly fine. But obviously the bad porting on PC. Pretty sure when it first came out, not even the newest Titans could run it. So which is a bit of a worry.
What engine was it in?
I think it was Unreal. Yeah, it was.
How hard is it to mess up on Unreal?
Well, it was just simple.
It's a powerful engine, though.
Yeah.
You got.
What have you got to do wrong to make it do that?
There were reports from the company that were porting it over. I don't know what the name is exactly, but they were actually reporting these problems to obviously to people who passed it over to them, and they just weren't doing anything about it.
So it was just ignored.
Yeah. And
so this is definitely a case of sweep it under the rug and move on. So they're going to make new games and hopefully make them good.
Well, they're going to make new games because it's a Batman game and everyone loves a bit of a Batman game. Everyone loves a Batman game.
I mean, Arkham Asylum was amazing. Arkham City was amazing. The one before Arkham Origins was okay, but because it moved to another company, or at least got passed down to another company. So people were a little bit iffy. So it was okay at best. And then obviously they brought it back over to the original company that made the two games, and now...
So it was Rocksteady.
Yeah, and now it's just meh.
Well, they might...
Like I said, it's Game of the Year on console, it's just PC, they just ignored it.
Yeah.
Well, apparently, because of the whole mess-up, with Rocksteady and the company that they outsource to do the PC. Avalanche Studios might get it, which is the people who made Mad Max. They said that because it's an open world, it has a car and it shares the fundamentals of the Arkham combat system.
That would be interesting.
So it might be a whole new company that makes a new Arkham
The thing is,
game.
I've actually heard good things about the new Mad Max game.
Yeah, I was going to say, I've not had a chance
actually
to
in
play
the
it.
top 10.
Is it?
Currently, I know in the UK it is. It's currently in the top 10 of games. People have been
Is that
ranting and
just
raving about it.
Top 10 like bestseller. They hooked onto the franchise and bought it. That doesn't necessarily mean that it was good.
To be fair, how many people do you know go out of their way to buy movie-based games?
Well, when you see a movie as good as that
I know, but even so, I love Harry Potter.
Traditionally, when a
Harry
game is
Potter
based
games
off a
aren't my
movie,
cup of
it
tea.
does terrible.
Yeah.
As a tradition.
Which is
but-
why I wasn't expecting anything good to come
Exactly,
from it.
I thought, it's just a
quite
really
surprised.
bad movie to a game, whatever. And then it's now amazing, everyone's saying to me.
Yeah.
So it's like, should I pick it up or should I just wait and then obviously get on that bandwagon like later on? But apparently I've heard nothing but good things about it.
Yeah. Maybe it's something we'll look
Weird.
into and talk about next week.
Might be,
Yeah,
yeah, we'll have
maybe.
to see.
But I mean, as
Let's
regards
get
the Batman game, I see why it would be good to swap over to maybe using their engine for Mad Max.
Yeah, if it's
because
a similar
got a lot in
style,
correlation.
especially if the company are used to making a similar style of game, all they have to do is essentially reskin it. That's pretty much it. Well,
And
Well,
to that
edition
point.
and stuff, yeah.
but obviously they have to add and take away fundamentals away from Mad Max and put
It's
Batman
something
stuff.
that they're comfortable with doing.
Yeah,
they can
exactly.
easily do.
It's like if a company is used to making racing games, but then go to a first-person shooter. They're not. That is completely different. Obviously,
Wow.
racing game companies are going to probably, hopefully, stick to racing games. So it's going to
That's
be
terrible at them.
well. It's just the simple fact that they're used to making that style.
Yeah,
of stuff.
yeah. It's going to be a lot easier to.
So obviously,
To
if
translate.
the fundamentals of the game are relatively the same, obviously it makes sense to kind of pass it over to them. Because I'm trying to think of games that are relatively the same as Batman. I'm kind of struggling right now because I can't think of any off the top of my head.
The other Batman games?
Well, obviously, but yeah.
They're all
The
pretty
Batman
similar.
game.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like in the Arkham universe, there are only two companies that have switched, and only one of the companies have made one game.
In a way, it's kind of Assassin's Creed-y, some of the gameplay points.
A little bit.
I mean, I don't play them very much, but looking from outside at like gameplay footage and people playing it, it seems kind of similar mission style, and especially like the navigation. And God, do we need any more parkour style games?
Not really, no. Especially
Hey,
with
Mirror's Edge is
Mirror's
coming
Edge,
out. That's
yes,
I'm looking forward to
Mirror's Edge
that.
too,
That's what I
Yes.
say, Mirror's Edge.
But like Colour Theory just gets me excited, so
yeah.
I would play anything Mirror's Edge.
Yeah, that's because it's a good-looking game and it plays.
I'm rubbish at it. I can't platform for toffee. You know, they've got it
pretty damn
work.
good game.
I can't play it. No, I can't even get it to a point where the customers can play it. It's just, just
know
restart the
I
level.
don't know the controls. I tried for like 5 minutes
We'll have
to
to
get
sit
the
and play it.
controls, and I was
Yeah.
like, no. I
It'll be
think I
interesting.
smacked into a wall and then tried to jump, and then she was just like, no, I'm done.
I just sort of
See you later.
fit in the same spot and just sort of fell over.
That's it. I'm out. I've crashed into one wall. Peace.
Walked off the edge of a building knowing me.
Yeah.
Didn't know what I was doing.
Okay.
That's good though.
Where are we going
I am
next?
Okay,
excited.
we're going next. We're going to Konami, our favourite dump site.
Yeah.
I mean games company.
I know Dump Site is pretty accurate right now with what they're doing.
So, I know everyone's probably sick and tired of Konami, but once again they've managed to sort of ruffle some feathers. They have announced that they will be continuing making Metal Gear Solid games without Kojima.
Why?
How do we feel about this, Mike? We're gonna go to you because
it's-
you're gonna flip some shit.
I'm not going to rant too much, but I can easily rant about this easily without even reading up much on it. But it's dumb and it's stupid and it's stupid and it's dumb. But if they're going to do it, then they're going to do it. There's nothing that can be done about it.
Is there great probably besides
Well,
Resi?
No, go on, Silent Hill.
Silent Hill, that's the one. Sorry.
Castlevania.
My bad,
Castle-
Castlevania,
Yeah.
and yeah.
It's a little bit of an up yours though. It's horrible.
Oh, absolutely.
It is. That's what is said. We don't know if it's gonna be. Is it a malicious tactic? We
Maybe.
don't know. Still don't know what on earth is with Kojima and Konami.
I don't think Kojima's still said anything about it.
No, nothing's
I mean,
been said.
He stayed
it's
silent
a
for
franchise.
so long.
It's his baby. And
It
it's like
is.
it's like the primary school teachers taking like. Sorry, it's like the primary school teachers taking all of the kudos for like teaching this kid how to do stuff when, as a parent, you probably taught him more than the little primary school teacher did. And now they're all like, look at Timmy, he's the president. And it's like, wow.
It's like, the weird thing is, I think I saw a picture online was like, it's just a picture of Kojima giving Konami, like, the game, and then Konami's like, I made this. Like, it's not at all. It's just that Kojima has pretty much made, in my opinion anyway, Konami
What
the higher AAA
it's a
company
massive
that it is.
chunk of Konami, and that's why everyone's really
Exactly.
salty and really upset about it all, is because everyone loves Kojima and his work, and it's
Then
a very
they-
nostalgic thing as well, because a lot of people have grown up with
Oh,
it.
absolutely, yeah.
Then maybe it's better that he's being so mature about it and not even
Yeah, but we
picking up
don't
a
know
fuss.
if that's him or whether he signed something or whether you don't know.
Well, it could be either way, but to be honest, I think it's a little bit more honourable to just sit there and let the douchebags be douchebags while your
Yeah.
fans know that you're the true hero.
The thing is that
than cause a big fuss
Yeah.
and make it look like a scandal.
the thing is that a lot of people they are like huge and like hardcore like Kojima fans, and no matter like Kojima could just come in like another 10 years and just say, hey, here's a new game, and people are gonna go straight for it. I'm one of them. So it's like,
I'd buy it.
I'll buy it. No matter, it's just Kojima's name of mine.
Yeah.
I want it.
You'd buy his dirty pants, wouldn't you?
Konami's taken his name off of everything still, though, as well. So anything
Yeah, exactly, like
in the future,
websites,
nothing's
everything.
going to be related. Even if they released, you know, flipping renewed, like remastered versions of the game, or
It's all
like
gonna be Konami.
figures that are from the original games, it's not going to have Kojima's
Like, they
name
could-
on
they
it. You'd be
could-
gutted. You'd be absolutely gutted.
They could re-HD the HD collection that they made for Metal Gear, and then just take everything that Kojima has off it. Like, they're just going to completely wipe his name from all of the
Yeah, that's
records.
it. It's gone.
And it's like, it's fine, but it doesn't really matter because Kojima's just gonna pop up in another 5 years, make a new game.
He'll just get picked up for another company.
Yeah, there's no way in
That's
hell.
like-
He's either going to
any-
go solo with people or he's going to be picked up by another company.
Any
because he's such a
sensible
talent,
company,
is-
Yeah, yeah.
any sensible company that have more than two heads would just go
And the right money.
Yeah,
Or a
exactly.
good
Would
game,
just
yeah.
go straight for him. Like, I'll be like scratching out his
But
door.
what happens if you make an enemy of Konami?
Well, it's not like Konami are going to do anything because
Well, they
apparently
pretty much own a fair chunk of the industry, though.
No, they do.
No,
but
not
compared,
anymore.
not compared,
Not anymore.
not compared to like Nintendo or
Yeah.
you know, you think about Rockstar, how much they've
Yeah.
dominated ever since they released GTA
They
5,
have, yeah.
and
Rockstar
even like indie
dominates the
companies
word.
now that are
Yeah.
just
No,
amazing.
they're on their arse. Like
They
they're
really are.
releasing mobile games. They're that far on their arse.
Yeah, they said that
Castlevania,
they-
the newest one, was a Kickstarter-based
Yeah.
thing. It wasn't even Konami that funded it. It was a Kickstarter-based
I
thing.
can
wasn't
imagine
it?
it's going
yeah,
to be
because
the
it was
same.
an old. It was an I can't remember his name now, but I'm trying to think of it by heart and I can't remember. But it's one of the main, obviously, the heads of
Yeah.
the creators of Castlevania who wanted to make a style based off it, and that's done incredible. And I think they're actually getting it started now.
Yeah. Because that was huge. It was like funded within a day or 12 hours or something really ridiculous
Yeah, it
because
is.
they just went, you know what, we're done with Konami shit. That's it. We're out. We're going to do our own.
But it doesn't matter because Konami are just trying to backtrack now to mobile games as a fallback plan
Yeah.
because mobiles are the future, air quotes.
Let's make another Metal Gear Solid.
Yeah, let's make Metal Gear
tablet.
online.
Yeah. Metal
Which
Gear MMO.
And they're going to make Metal Gear online, and that's just going to go horribly wrong.
How's that going to work, though? Because it focuses on central protagonists. It wouldn't
Well,
work with
It's
a lot
like
of
when
online
Bethesda did
individuals
Elder
to
Scrolls
go-
Online, where everyone went, this is probably going to be really cool, but it ended up being a
Yeah,
sort
but
of...
the thing is that obviously with Elder Scrolls, all of the games focus around like a single protagonist.
Yeah,
but
it's-
you
it's open
impose
world, yeah,
yourself on that protagonist.
That's
so
true,
you
that's
change
true.
it to who you
As
are.
just a simple example of what they could do is that in the new Metal Gear, when you're in your mother base, of which is like your home hub
Yeah.
of everything, you could actually get invaded by other people.
They're going to do it like a Clash of Clans kind of thing.
So
Yeah,
you
but could you choose like your favourite
But
card?
it's not going to be a Metal Gear, though. It's not going to be like a Metal Gear game.
Well,
It's
no,
not-
it's just going to be a Clash of Clans, and what
Yeah.
they'll basically do is you'll have. It's like
15
with Peace. It's like with
15,
Peace Walker.
it's going to be like 15 solid snakes versus
Yeah.
another 15
But it'll
solid
be-
snakes. That's
it'll-
all it's going to be.
It'll be like
I'll
Peace,
trade
red
you.
versus blue solid
It's just
snake.
deathmatch, yeah.
yeah, Peace Walker, and they had the whole. You had your like area, your little station.
Yeah.
You had all your guys, and then you'd send them off to go and do a mission, and then you'd have Solid Snake, and you'd play Solid Snake, and then he'd go off and he'd do his own mission, and then they'd come back and be like, "Yay, we did stuff!" Like that's literally what it will be. But it will be on mobile, except you won't have the Solid Snake part. That will be removed. So it will just be a real-time strategy kind of thing.
But with a vague coating of franchise.
What worries me is like Kojima has done so much to build this series. Like, it is just so complex but so perfect, and yet now Konami is just going to go like, we can do all of this now. We're going to do an MMO, RPG.
They're just going to run it
turn-based
dry.
strategy game with like you fight other mother bases or something like. They could just do.
Yeah, they're just scraping the bottom of the barrel. I think it's time for that franchise to die.
Well, Kojima has said that.
Whoa.
Well, no. Maybe dies it. Maybe
For Konami.
Everything has its time. It's time to move on.
Yeah.
Kojima has said, and he said it previously with one of the other Metal Gear games as well, but he has said that this was going to be, no matter what, his last Metal Gear game.
Yeah.
In the story, it's done, it's finished, scrapped, done.
It's time to
put
die.
it underneath, put all the awards that he's probably won in the shelf,
Yeah, exactly.
dust it all off.
Dust it down, then.
Like, just make a shelf dedicated to the Metal Gear series. Done. They could probably make
Rest
each
in
shelf.
peace. Insert
Probably a
epitaph
museum.
here.
They could probably
Basically.
they could probably make each shelving unit and fill it up with every single trophy from each game individually, like a shelving unit dedicated to each game, and they'd probably fill it out. But
What would be your favourite shelf?
oh, that's a good question. Actually, I'm probably would actually be either Peace Walker or Snake Eater. I think.
Someday
Yeah,
he will go.
that's just because Snake Eater is like the iconic one for me personally. Just because that theme music,
That theme.
in any way, shape, and
That's
form,
flipping it.
could be it.
That's
But
the start of our nerd a cappella group, for those of you
Yeah,
that don't know.
yeah.
It's gonna be a thing. It's gonna be a thing, and it's gonna be amazing. But
Mike's our soprano.
You're a soprano.
Go!
but I mean,
Snake Eater!
but I mean, it's like Konami are just gonna try and like literally like scrape the bottom of the barrel with it. They're just gonna push it into every single genre.
They'll probably, just like I said, they'll get a game that's done really well on the mobile, and then they'll just make
Oh, yeah, it
the
wouldn't-
Metal Gear
yeah.
version of that.
Well, obviously they've done a Metal Gear, obviously portable, but they're just gonna do
Could you
that all
imagine
the
Metal
time.
Gear Flappy Bird?
Oh, God.
All it's gonna be,
Oddly enough, I could.
all it's gonna be is the
I
birds
could.
with like like an eye patch. With really
Massive
with
scar.
with like grey
A little
hair
bit
all
of
over it.
stubble.
And then the pigs
Or just
are
a
gonna
cardboard box.
be and
Just a cardboard box
budget.
floating
Low
through.
budget Flappy
the
Gear.
pigs are just gonna
Konami's
be
got
revolver
no budget
ocelot
there.
with like revolvers on the
You've got
side.
the completely wrong birds, by the way. You're on Angry Birds. We're on Flappy Birds.
Oh, it doesn't matter. It's still
all birds.
it's still gonna
all
make it in that
birds.
style anyway. Like I said, they're gonna put it into every single genre.
Candy
And-
Crush.
They're in
Yeah, they could
Dear
just they
God.
could just do like little faces of like all of it just to match the faces. Like they could just do
God.
so much, and they're gonna ruin it. They're gonna like burn it to the ground.
Right, we're gonna
Bit
move
by
on
bit.
because you're
Wait,
just
before
gonna
we-
rage.
Yeah, before
okay.
we like move on, let's
Okay.
totally trademark all that shit. So
Okay, yeah,
like,
so
every guy is watching right now. Trademark.
Konami's just there, waiting, taking
Taking
notes.
notes.
We've got your number, Konami. We know.
Candy Crush Metal Gear game.
Yeah.
Where it's just gonna be all the different faces of all the Metal Gear characters. You have to match them all up. That's what I'm gonna do. Game project
Games Jam. Next Games Jam.
sorted.
Okay. So next on my notes, we have a new game by David.
Can you talk?
Yeah, that's what I
The
thought.
creator of Stanley Parable is a new game. Davey Redden. Redden?
Oh,
Redden?
God,
I've said
what?
that right? Yeah.
Oh, more games.
More games. More games.
All of the
You already
games.
know this because I sent you the link earlier on, and you kind of went. Ah!
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, guys. I got a little bit excited.
No, she was acting surprised for the effect.
We
I'm
all
lying.
love the Stanley Parable games.
Stanley
Am I
Parable's
right in
amazing.
saying this?
Yeah.
We or
I've-
game. Not
I've
games.
been through it at least 4 or 5 times, maybe more.
It is a lovely hidden gem that is makes us proud to be British.
When did it first come out? Is it?
2011 was
Previous
first.
game Stanley Parable was released.
It was on Source Mod first, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
2011.
Hell
And
yeah!
then was it 2013 when it
Yeah,
got its full
yeah.
release?
It
That's
re-released
already-
as a standalone game in 2013.
Sorted. Yes.
They were using the
So
Source engine.
he has released a new game that's out the 1st of October, and the reason why I didn't put this in as my personal game because I think it's such a big deal to all of us because it's
Yeah.
it's
It's a good game.
yeah. And what's really really exciting is that he's like, this game is called The Beginner's Guide, and the trailer for it, which is really really cool. it's as if you're going through a load of files and you're playing a load of unfinished games, and you have to sort of guess who that person is based off all these games. But according to the official, or what I've read up about it, it doesn't have any objectives, and it doesn't have traditional mechanics for the game. So it could be absolutely anything. Now, we know that Stanley Parable was a bit of an odd game anyway, but knowing that, that's really, really exciting.
Yeah.
It says, it tells a story of a person struggling to deal with something they do not understand, which
that seems already like a
I
cool
am
concept.
so excited about, because to me that's like, bam, he's going to put so much thought into things like semantics and semiotics.
Yeah. Well, it's a fantastic elevator pitch for a start.
Oh, absolutely.
It says nothing, but it says everything
I
all
know.
at the same time. I
It's
just want to know
so
more.
exciting.
Like, already I'm wondering like what they're going to do. Like, it could be like it's like multi-scenario, like it's just completely randomly generated. It could just be a different scenario every single time you play. They could be everything.
It's kind of like the Stanley Parable in a sense, although it was quite complicated, it was incredibly simple. Well, yeah, because basically it was a linear game that broke the fourth wall and then broke its linearity at the same time. You're always going to meet the same end game scenario. Well, the set of, was it 2 or 3? It was 2, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But you felt like you had some sort of choice, and then you just got to deal with the fact that you didn't have any choices. All of these choices mean nothing, and that is what gameplay is. In any game that you pick, the studio's already decided how the game's going to end, even if it's more than one ending. There is no openness, so it's nice to see games that play with that sense, and it makes me quite happy as a games designer.
Yeah, it's going to be one of those games where, I always say, if there's a game that you want to introduce people who have no idea anything about the games industry and just think it's first-person shooters or football simulators, and it's going to be one of those games, same as Stanley Parable. Yes, reversing truck. Thank you very much.
Reversing trucks trying to get it.
Yeah. Go away. Where you just want to give it to someone and say, no, this is what making games is about. You know, you pick up so many lovely indie titles and even AAA titles. Things like Life is Strange is one of my games of the year so far, and it's just one of those games where you just put it in front of someone and go, no, just play it, and
Enjoy.
to me that defines our industry.
Yeah.
Not the first person shooters or yeah.
It's just like there's so many. Again, like I'm just literally reading the same article, and I'm already thinking of like 1,000,001 things about what it could
take
about.
off. Yeah. It's going to be so exciting because it's going to be deep, and it's going to be everyone's own interpretation, and it's got this lovely ambiguity to it, and it's just going to be
I hope it actually it's just a complete opposite end of the spectrum to Stanley Parable. Because reading this, it does sound a lot like Stanley Parable. Oh yeah, I see how they could be similar. I just hope it just blows it out of the park.
Yeah,
It just goes completely off the wall. It'd be amazing.
It would be fantastic. But I mean, like you were saying, as regards the part of the industry that it's representing, it's nice to see games that are playing with it and aren't just rinsing off. Again, back to the Metal Gear, it's just the rinsing off of a franchise.
Yeah.
And I think I was talking to you guys about this the other day, but I believe that if you make more than 3 games for your franchise, you should stop there. Anyone that goes past 3 or 4, in my mind, I'm not going to play any of them.
Not like Assassin's Creed. Like
yeah, Assassin's Creed is the
same
what the hell
recycled
happened there, guys?
crap.
Exactly. Like I totally.
I think
Steam, Valve rather, are quite honourable in the way that they do things because they cannot count to 3. Ever since Counter-Strike, they've just gone with normal things.
Well, Half-Life is a completely different
Half-Life.
subject.
Well, yeah, Half-Life, Counter-Strike, they just did so many things.
Honestly, I don't want them to release Half-Life. In all honesty, because no matter what they do, it's never going to hit expectations.
Exactly, and that's why they've never bothered with it. But obviously, it's had so much focus from all the fans. I was going to say fanboys, but then it's not just the boys at all, is it?
No.
It's definitely from all the fans wanting more. So it's that thirst for an extra one, but they've made them wait long enough for it, and hopefully technology's moved on far enough that it would be interesting to see what a Half-Life game in this kind of era would look like.
Yeah, it would actually.
But I mean, with Portal, they did the first game as a tester to just test the waters as people want to play that kind of game. When it was well received, they made Portal 2, but I'm really glad that they didn't try and make a third one just because Portal 2 did well. And then again with Left 4 Dead. Left 4 Dead 1, fantastic, and Left 4 Dead 2, even better, like extra weapons
it's
and
good how they
mechanics.
added to it.
It grew, but the thing is, if they made a Left 4 Dead 3, it wouldn't have worked.
I mean, it could there still is room for a third game, but
God, yes.
I agree with like what you're saying is completely right. They don't make games for the sake of, we need to make a game for this. It's an idea that's generated over time. And to be fair, I think with franchises like Final Fantasy and Metal Gear and Grand Theft Auto, where there are multiple games, especially Final Fantasy.
Yes, definitely.
They are generated off of an idea. Some, especially with Final Fantasy, maybe terrible. 13.
Oh, what was that again?
Satan just rolled 13.
Yeah, what's this? What year is this?
He's watching us from
A new challenger has entered.
He's there.
Oh, is he paying rent? Or...
Freeloader.
You can't keep pets. I'm sorry, Satan. You have to leave.
God damn it. I'm
God, I
going
want
to do my
Satan as a
ritual
pet.
all over again. Yeah, it's... yeah. I forgot where Satan took over. I can't remember where we're going.
You were
But
talking
yeah,
about
I can't-
Final
it has
Fantasy
to be a
games.
genuinely genuine idea to begin with, rather than just the rinse and repeat. Reversing truck, can you not? Jess, you had one more story, didn't you? You had something.
Did I have something?
You had something else.
She's forgotten that.
Oh.
You threw me Batman.
if we're not going to talk about anything, we've just seen Turtle.
That's the one.
Back to the Future possibility.
New and exclusive.
Thanks to Eurogamer, which we've just seen the trailer for, or the possible trailer for. I don't know, it was technically leaked, but there was definitely a trailer for it.
Leaked quotation
Yes.
marks.
Tactical
quotation.
leak.
Yeah. And so, obviously, you being, I'm looking at you, being someone
Massive
of the
fan.
Telltale gaming variety.
Yeah. I've played every Telltale game apart from Game of Thrones one. And that's literally because I couldn't afford it at the time. And I've forgotten about it because no one talks about that game.
Not really, no.
And I've no idea why, but maybe that's a discussion for another day. I am a fan of the Game of Thrones franchise, just not really sure if I want to spend money on that one. Because
I would like to get it.
It'd be interesting
Yeah.
to
Just for the
see,
sake
but
of
it would be
I
one
would
of
like
those
to.
games
It'll
where
be-
it'd be
it'll-
like, I'll wait for it to be on sale. Before.
Yeah.
So not
Yeah.
really too fast.
Exactly, but I mean, with the Wolf Among Us, I totally devoured that game. It was
Yes.
fantastic.
Could agree with
Amen.
that one.
And then
Walking Dead.
The Walking Dead, both series, absolutely adore them. Every episode is mine. And then as soon as I saw Tales from the Borderlands, I got very excited because I don't quite like playing the actual Borderlands games, but I really like Tales from the Borderlands one, and I must have played through the series as it is now without... I think we're waiting for one more episode, and that's the end
Yeah.
of that series. And I don't really want to play it when it comes out because then there's no more. And
Well, when it
you
comes
can't
out,
fill that
She
hole in
made
my
me-
life.
She made me play it, the whole thing, up to episode 5.
In one day.
4
Yeah.
5?
5.
Oh.
No, it's 5.
5.
It's a 6-episode series, I think.
Anyway, the most recent one, in one whole day, and we didn't get to bed until 1 a.m.
Yeah.
And we didn't realise because we just sat at the PC all day playing, flipping Tales of the Borderlands.
It,
That
it's
just reminds me, I
fantastic.
still need to complete mine.
You do, yeah. We need to see how you're going to do with your Captain Jack. Sorry, Captain Jack Jesus. No,
Captain
sorry.
Jack.
Captain
Jack?
Jack. Sorry.
Who?
You alright?
Sorry, I was looking at the rum in the corner.
Of course.
Where's the rum
Student
gone?
life. No, I was just about to say because of the handsome Jack. I paired up with Fiona for those of the that play and understand what's happening, and Michael has paired with Jack.
And he's got his head so far up Jack's arse. It's
Yeah.
unbelievable.
But the
'Cause
thing
Jack
is that it's
probably the best villain to come out in the game.
agreed,
in
but it's
so
quite
long.
a dangerous pairing, and I don't know if it's going to work out well for you.
It's
You're not quite
gonna
playing
work
him
out.
right.
It's not going to work out at all, but I'm going to go for it because I love Handsome Jack.
But exactly, the series is so well written, it's fantastic.
Absolutely.
And I was already so deeply in love with Telltale and the way that they create games that I would literally buy anything that they put a stamp on. So to hear that they're making a Back to the Future game is quite interesting because I'm a big fan of sci-fi and a big fan of time travel and paradox as a story plot and device. So I'm looking forward to seeing what happens with this one, guys. Although the leaked trailer is a little bit disappointing. Obviously, it's not
In terms
quite
of
ready.
aesthetics,
There's
yeah.
some
It's a bit
post-production
weak,
needed there. Yeah.
It'll be nice to see if they can obviously improve it.
Yeah.
Because if they're just having a little gander, seeing, like, testing the waters essentially, like
Yeah.
dipping their foot in, just see how it, like, they're probably just seeing if they can actually get any attention off it.
Mm-hmm.
Realistically, like, obviously
As if they wouldn't get
obviously-
attention. People would be
that's what I'm
creaming
saying.
themselves.
Like, obviously they're gonna
Like
get.
me.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're going to get a lot of attention from it, but a lot of the time, they're probably just going to see if they can get.
The hype
Yeah.
train.
Because they've also got. Is it the Mind Minecraft to do it?
Minecraft
Yeah,
story, yes.
Minecraft, which is probably going to be marked.
So excited for that.
I think that will be marketed towards a younger audience anyway.
Yeah,
It's not going to be.
definitely, yes.
It's going to have the same twist. I feel like humour, like the
Yeah,
same
but I
as
don't
a
think it's
Disney
gonna be
or a
quite as
DreamWorks
gritty.
Film. No, it's not going to be like Walking Dead.
It's
Wolf
going
Among
to
Us.
be definitely tailored towards the Minecraft.
How could you make a Minecraft based game without targeting it towards a
Yeah.
younger audience? It'd be cruel, really, wouldn't it?
You essentially have to.
Yeah.
But the thing is that with the way that Minecraft is played, obviously it's quite a child-friendly game, but it's also quite violent, and it's very bizarre seeing what it does to cute little 8-year-old lads and ladies. Because as soon as you put them in creative mode, all they want to do is stick on the diamond armor and swords, and there's no point in doing that in that sense.
It looks swag money though.
That's not why they're doing it.
I
They don't
know.
care. Have you
know.
seen the way children dress?
Yeah.
They don't care. All they want is a sword, so they pretend to be the big man, and it's quite interesting. There's a lot of monsters and scary things, and that noise came from outside. Stop freaking out.
Okay. I have no idea. I've got one headphone in. I have no idea. My peripherals and my ears are just gone.
So it's going to be interesting to see what happens, but I don't think it's going to be all fluffy bunnies and rainbows, because there are no rainbows or bunnies in Minecraft. I would know. Wait, actually, it depends on what mod you're playing. But
It depends on update, I guess, because they'll probably release it eventually.
Are you listening, Mojang? Rainbows and bunnies.
We're talking to you, Mojang.
Yeah, we've got rainbow
Only-
sheep,
only
okay? It's
to
a
you.
Jeb sheep.
Jeb
is-
sheep, all
Jeb
hail.
Jeb is babe.
Yeah.
Jeb is Bay.
I feel like it's gonna. I feel like it's gonna be like the same feeling that the Lego Movie has. You know what I mean? Where it's
That good humour.
like good humour that
Do
everyone
you think
can
they'll get Chris
appreciate.
Pratt to voice Steve?
Well, Chris Pratt's in
God,
everything.
please.
They've already announced the cast. I can't remember who's voicing in it, but yes. Anyway, that went on about Telltale for way too long. The next thing on the list is bad news from a Kickstarter project. A company going by, or an indie group going by, Golgum Game S, I think, raised over $30,000. That's equivalent to almost 20 grand over here in UK GBP. Great British Pounds, GBP, yeah.
Great British pounds.
Yeah, great British pounds.
Prickish, I think, maybe.
Sure. For a game called Mansion Lord. I don't know much about the actual game itself. I just know that a lot of money was raised for it. They then opened up, after the Kickstarter, their own dedicated PayPal, to which more money was raised for it. People really wanted this game.
Yeah.
And no one knows where they've gone.
So they've just disappeared.
They've
off the earth.
absolutely just 100% disappeared off the earth. People have tried to contact Kickstarter to tell them, and Kickstarter have gone, listen, it's not our fault.
Yeah.
It's your money. It's to do with you and the company, the guys who are doing it.
Yeah, exactly.
But there is no links to any of to the crew anymore. All the Facebook,
so just laundering,
the
basically.
Facebooks, the Twitters, any social media is gone.
Wow.
No one knows their names. No one knows anything. It's completely gone. That's over $30,000.
What was so convincing about that campaign that everyone is so adamant they were making a game? Because normally you can tell when someone's just looking for a quick
they
buck.
must have had some sort of trailer, some sort of development.
Some
There
sort
must
of
have been
product.
something. Jess, are you looking it up now?
Oh no,
Sorry.
I'm looking at something completely different.
Okay. Would you
Nice
mind
to know
having a
you're with
little
us,
look
Steve.
to see what the actual game was? So we. Because you're right.
Let's
there's
do our
gotta be-
research
there's
on
gotta
the
be
spot.
something.
I think the problem is with this type of stuff is that it's just the problem with Kickstarter-based projects in general.
Yeah.
Is a lot of trust.
Dashcon.
Yeah.
Ballhead.
I don't think
Yeah.
that was that. Was
It's-
that Kickstarter?
It's
I don't
a
know.
lot of
was
just
crowdfunded.
trust issues with this, and that's the problem with this kind of stuff.
But do you think that that's down to the company? The company should have some sort of responsibility for that and making sure it's
absolutely, yeah.
authentic.
But do you
enough?
think
Like-
Kickstarter
I don't
should be
think so.
linked
The
to
problem
it?
the problem is that it needs. There's no way of really verifying that any Kickstarter project is official. You can go on Kickstarter and every single, just one day, every single project could just be completely fake and just make
Total
a quick
bogus.
buck. Yeah.
Yeah.
But then every single project another day can just be completely legit, 100%.
Fantastic stuff.
Exactly.
Is that it?
It looks like they just took the
No.
Monopoly
No.
board.
Okay, that's not it.
That's not it.
Well, that was a
sorry.
different one.
I'm so
There's
sorry. I
quite-
should have
there's
done this
quite a lot.
beforehand, but you're right. don't know what the game...
But it's just... I think that's my problem with Kickstarter in general, is that there's no way to certify a project. Because anyone can go on, make something, and then just flog it and run.
Yeah. But I mean, as someone who's in part of a team looking at using crowdfunding to create a product, in this case, a small comic, plug dadtown.net.
Plug. Cough, Dadtown, cough.
Check us out online to see what we're about. It's good stuff, I promise. But yeah, regarding that, it's being able to negotiate that kind of trust from your potential market and your customers. You have to think of them as customers immediately. To have the balls to go on that website and just go, look at this imaginary thing that I'm making, not making, ha ha ha, give me your dollar, is a cruel thing to do. And obviously people out there will do anything for money. It doesn't matter. But the fact that it's so easy to use the internet to your advantage in that way to make people believe you're doing something good.
Yeah.
It's a little bit worrying, but I don't think necessarily that it's down to Kickstarter or GoFundMe or whatever it is. Indiegogo. I don't think it's necessarily their fault, and I think they're entirely right to say, well, it's your own fault.
Because but should Kickstarter be reliable for giving the public general piece of information about... Say if it goes terribly tits up like this has. Yeah, that's the one.
Okay.
Sorry, she just showed me a picture of the game. Should Kickstarter be reliable for cracking down on people who don't... You know, if there's a massive... I'm not talking about people who are making a fuss over the fact that, oh, well, I put £5 in for a game, but it didn't reach its fund. I think you should
that's a £5 lesson on what's not trust.
But I'm talking about something of this scale, this magnitude. Surely they, as a company, should try and make them, you know... It just seems a bit dodgy, because if you wanted to keep good reputation up there and be like, well, we're Kickstarter, we're the bomb... Do you think maybe it would be a good idea to go out and make it a thing in I don't know, some of their terms and conditions if you don't release a product or refund them?
It says on here that, well, according to a backer for Mansion Lord, that's what the game's called. That they have to contact the creator, that it has nothing to do with Kickstarter. So as soon as
they've got a disclaimer,
as soon as the money's been handed over, that's it.
Yeah, the money doesn't get handed over until the campaign is successful, and if it earns more money than the campaign required, then it goes through.
But then they
I think there's a small percentage for
PayPal
Kickstarter
themselves as well, which
wasn't
to do with.
They added that on top, but then that's the fact that they've already gained such a good reputation from a successful Kickstarter, which is such an important and priceless thing to have anyway. If you've got success on one Kickstarter, you can easily complete a second. Obviously dependent on the project, but it's just ridiculous. But is crowdfunding the way to go? I mean, obviously it means that you don't have to focus on, you know, having a publisher, because when you've got your publisher and they're telling you this is what you should do, this is what you shouldn't do, we don't want that, we don't want this, you have more creative input,
a lot more freedom.
Independent. So going indie is good in some ways, but obviously traditional indie, you're looking at something small scale and something affordable on whatever income you have or whatever savings you have without somebody giving you the money. But should we be looking at going back the other way into the industry, relieving that little bit of creative input just to make something that'll sell well and enough money to then make more stuff? It's such a difficult industry.
I think... Obviously, you've got... It's so... I'm going to say this lightly, but it's so easy to be able to make something now because everything is just so public.
Accessible.
Accessible. And the fact that the past, I want to say 2, maybe 3 years, indie has just skyrocketed.
Yeah, when we started college, and which this was about 4 years ago, we all sort of noticed the indie market went up, it boomed. Things like Fez were coming out, Mojang were around, and it was going crazy. And that was
also
sort of
down to mobile and app stores. I think.
Yeah, a lot of smartphones gained things like Angry Birds. Angry Birds.
There's probably one of those as well.
Candy Crush. And things like that are starting to get more and more, like you said, accessible, and it's easy. And you hear things like 7-year-olds making app games and earning hundreds of pounds just by making a simple game and coding on Unity or Java or something.
Bit of Scratch.
So, I mean, it's so accessible now to go in there, and Kickstarter seems to be the way to go now for a lot of indie companies. And even, like I said, like going back to Castlevania, like the old creators coming back, he doesn't want to go through all of the old type of style of stuff, and he's going for Kickstarter, and it just blew the amount he wanted out the water. So even now, some of the people who started it are even going through these new methods now, and it's a lot it's very again accessible to just use Kickstarter now for 90% of projects, and everyone's on it, and everyone's just going to keep backing because why not? It's just the problem of now you get these stories and you get these certain issues of it just people just not really going with it, and they don't really fulfill what they quote unquote promised.
It's scams. That's what it is. There's been so many where there was one they were going to make Yogscast or something Yogs related, and it turned out to be a complete scam. So what it's
just someone using the reputable name.
What it's just going to turn out to be is that indie companies will use either Indiegogo or they'll use Kickstarter, but people won't put their money towards it because they either won't believe it's a real thing or they'll be careful of what they're going to fund. And they're only going to fund things that they know are going to be made. So from, either developers that have left big companies or developers that have made something like Mike Bithell, which is what I'm reading now about his new game. And stuff like that. So that's the only people they're going to support are people who they know that they can trust and have released
or have a lot of
content.
content.
Yeah, but the thing is that if you're new to it, how do you convince people that you're worthy and reputable?
Just the content. They must have had so much content to raise that.
Well, they did. There's a lot of screenshots. If you Google it, there's YouTube videos of what they've done. They've got a lot of social media, social networking. But what they've basically done is they've got all that, got the money, and then cancelled everything.
Yeah,
they must even making a demo and not completing it.
Yeah, but the thing is that then, I suppose in their minds, they've spent the time on making something to convince people they were going to finish it. They've made enough of it to have a successful Kickstarter, and then they've taken their money, and that's their wage for whatever it is they've done. But at the same time, that's absolutely fucking disgusting.
Well, yeah, because that's what they were planning on doing in the first place. It's not like something.
Yeah, this isn't something that happened all of a sudden.
Yeah, it's not like something bad happened and they had to stop because they've had no communication with the people who's funded it.
It would just be nice to get a little bit more certainty with these Kickstarter websites like Kickstarter, Indiegogo, like a little bit more certainty and
more security,
verification from these people who are asking for money, because it is just people's money that they're asking for.
Kickstarter need to take some form of responsibility for the people that just disappear on them.
I think actually, like you said, there's some sort of security that the money that they're putting towards this is actually going to be done. Actually going to be put to something and not just someone's wages. Just some random... It's just like 30k worth of pocket money that they've just got.
Oh, God. Unfortunately, I think it's just one of these circumstances where no one could have called it.
Yeah.
They released enough content, probably more than a lot of Kickstarter campaigns, and people really did trust them. And unfortunately, they legged it, and it's not fair. But the only way we can sort it out is just to be a bit more diligent and crack down on people like this and make sure to name and shame them and recognise when they pop up again.
It came out in about 2013, so it's been a 2-year thing. So it's been a long time for them to get that amount of money anyway.
But then they still.
But then So it seemed reliable, I guess, because of the time frame that they had. Yeah. You'd assume, and as well if they're releasing content all the time, showing people that they are actually building.
They just
something.
Vanished off the face.
Yeah.
Oh well. Last piece of news then, I guess. Last piece of news, a little bit light-hearted and also a little bit late. I came across this earlier today and I loved it so much. I decided to showcase it a little bit because I don't know anything about it. This is from the San Diego Comic Con, which was a couple of months ago, July, maybe.
Like that, alright, high pitch.
It's her universe fashion show, and I absolutely flipping love this idea. This should be at every convention it should get its hands on. So if you don't know what the hell I'm talking about, it's like a couture fashion show, but for nerd culture. So a load of seamstresses, or I assume cosplay makers at least, they've made outfits based off.
You're really struggling.
Whoops. Okay, it's late. Okay. They've made outfits based off their favourite series, everything from Game of Thrones to Tron, Big Hero 6, My Little Pony, you name it, they flipping made it. Not just a cosplay, an actual outfit based off of the fandom. I flipping love this idea, and the photos that I showed you guys blow my mind.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous, and it brings nerd culture and fashion up to like a caliber that people don't usually, people don't appreciate a lot of cosplayers. Like, I'm talking about the people looking outside, who aren't into cosplay or don't even know what on earth a Comic Con is. It brings it up, and it makes me like, oh, I'm so proud, look at them, they're so beautiful.
I know, but it kind of reminded me a little bit of RuPaul's Comic Con. It's not quite couture enough, sort of thing. It's lovely, and it was great to see some interesting ideas out there.
Yeah, it's not like London Fashion Week or anything, but it
was
a lovely
like drag
concept.
queen just screaming.
It was a lovely concept, and I'd like to see more things like that hosted, not just in San Diego.
Well, it
like
needs to go all over the place. San Diego Comic Con needs to come to like where we are.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Just come
no,
to my
we need to get more
apartment
money to go to San Diego. I think that's the problem.
we just need money to actually go.
Let's do a Kickstarter.
Yeah. That's a terrible. Oh
dear. Forget to tell them why we need the money.
Ignore them all. Ignore them all. Okay.
The Kickstarter for Metal Gear Flappy Bird. That's it.
No, that's it.
The Kickstarter for the Metal Gear MMORPG.
That's gonna be fun.
The MOBA.
San Diego next year.
Metal Gear MOBA.
Metal Gear MOBA on the mobile phone, featuring Candy Crush, or to go for Whole Hog, Honey Pot.
Oh
Honey
God,
Pot.
no, we're not having a Metal Gear dating
Gear.
sim.
Yeah,
God.
I'd play it.
Okay, we're gonna end this. We're gonna end the news.
Come on,
here.
Ocelot.
No.
I'm gonna say I get to date Revolve Ocelot. I'm done. Yes.
Throw fist over the microphone.
Okay. Just a disclaimer: if you see anything on Kickstarter about Metal Gear Solid mobile games, that is not us. That is not us. We are not going to do this.
Go to the computer
Stop
now.
it, Michael. We're going to end off with a section of just our games of the week. It could be games that we're currently playing that we really love and we want to remind you all about, or it could be new releases or indie releases.
The panic is real.
I'm trying to think of a game I've had time to play.
Xena hasn't got one.
Well, okay, so hands up for those who actually have a game to talk about.
Kind of.
That's 3 out of 4.
Right, well,
Okay, Mike, you go first.
I'm gonna say you go first if you have a kind
I've
of
technically
game.
already talked about the last game I played.
No, true.
Tales from the
So
Borderlands.
if you've kind of
Okay,
got
so your
it, then
game
go for
this
yourself.
week is Tales from the Borderlands.
That's my game every week, guys.
Every week you're just going to feature Tales of the Borderlands episode 1 or 2.
Actually, I have a different one to talk about, and it's a game that's existed for a very long time, and it's called Track and Field.
Oh,
Track and Field.
love a bit of track and field.
Here we go.
If you want to play Track and Field, guys, visit the NVA. I get to play it when I think my boss isn't looking.
Sorry, I'm just looking behind the mic. I just see the waveforms go crazy.
Yeah, that was a bit loud. I'm gonna have to do some audio editing.
Sorry, guys. Yeah, a little bit of Track and Field. I get to play it in my little free moments when none of the customers are around. And it's good fun, but that's my game of the week, and I think we should all make an effort to revisit older games because they exist for a reason.
Amen.
They are
Amen.
the reason we have games now.
Yeah.
On to you.
Oh,
Well,
great.
do clockwise.
Yeah,
might as
well.
This is kind of open discussion, I
Here we
guess.
go. I'm ready.
Okay.
Bracing myself.
Volume.
Oh,
anybody
the
know?
new Mike Biffle
yes.
one.
Okay, yeah.
Before.
Seen slight things about this. Not
Seen
too
a lot
much.
of stuff about it, but I kind of...
Do you know what it is?
I don't actually know what it is.
It is a third-person sci-fi stealth game in which you direct a little dude around a VR-styled maze-like levels, dodging guards with wits and gadgetry, with the aim of grabbing all the loot and getting out. And it's out now.
Oh, is
Is
this
it out
top
now?
down? I'm just looking at the graphic that you've got up there.
Oh, yeah.
It looks
Extreme
really
top-down
interesting.
Yeah.
However, I haven't played it, but I'm interested in it.
I'm
and
extremely
I've kind of just read this.
When did it come out?
Not that long ago, probably maybe a
very
couple
recent.
of weeks.
It's been in development for a couple of years.
It's been in development since Thomas Was
Was
Alone.
Alone.
when
Yeah.
it was
I love
big.
Thomas Was Alone though. It's a
Well, I
great
mean,
game.
The thing is that he's done 2D games. He's done isometric 3D games, sort of that kind of style. This is nice to see something top down looks a little bit freer.
But the person who's written this article, it's basically a review. So I've been reading through, and he talks about the audio, and it's still got the same voice actor as Thomas Was Alone.
Oh,
They
They
kept
kept him on,
yeah, they kept him on. But he says that it's trying to be too much like Thomas Was Alone.
Okay.
It's still trying to be very
That kind of
indie,
humour.
whereas it doesn't feel as indie anymore. It feels
Right.
kind of like a AAA company's trying to be indie.
Right.
Okay, yeah.
So he's got too big for his boots, basically.
Yeah, a little bit.
We'll have to see. We'll have to play it
Yeah,
and then
definitely.
review it because my game is also. I haven't played it, but I'm this close.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
is it?
Is it what?
No, I'm trying to guess which one it is you're going to pick.
Can't look at my notes.
I'm
Mike,
not-
you
I'm
go
not.
while she guesses.
Well, I'm going to go for a weird one, but it's one of my favourites. It's a game that has been out since 2010, actually, and I kind of just want to go back to it because I really want to play it again.
Yeah, I beat you on the timeline, though.
Yeah, you have done. It's a game called Vanquish. I love this game so much. It's crazy, insane, and I love it. I have no idea what's going on at all at any point in the game, but I love it anyway. And it's it's really weird. It's something that I class as like a guilty pleasure game. Like, I feel like I should not be playing this game, but I just love it anyway. Like, it's like a film. Like, I feel ashamed for liking it because I want to know more, and they need to make more. I would love a second game on it, but it is essentially just this crazy third-person shooter game where.
What makes you feel guilty, though?
Well, I don't know. Really, it's just weird. It's actually I have no idea why I feel like I shouldn't like this game. I just do. Cause it is just crazy. Like you're just literally just sliding around in like your little metal suit with a guy who reminds you of Snake from Metal Gear.
Not bad then.
And which is not a bad thing at all.
Floppy Snake.
Stop it! We're not making
Floppy Snake!
Stop
Floppy
it!
Snake.
Leave!
But yeah, it's the general. Well, I'm not going to say anything from the story, but you're just a guy in an augmented reaction suit. If you take too much damage during gameplay, you will just go in slow motion, dodging bullets, that sort of stuff. You can also enter that mode manually as well. You have what is called a blade, I believe it's called. Yeah, blade, which will then switch into different weapons. So it's essentially like an arm, augmented arm, but it will just switch into like a rocket launcher, a machine gun.
It's my kind of game.
There's a lot of different game styles with it as well. So you can just stay behind, snipe. You can just run in and just decide to blow everyone up. So it's kind of cool. Witty banter is also a nice addition to it.
Banter.
Witty banter.
Stop it.
Bit of cheeky Nando's.
Cheeky
No,
Nando's.
come on, guys. No, that sounds like a good game to play
Yeah,
after
it
a rough
is.
day in the office.
Oh, it is, absolutely. It does remind you a lot of the games you have no idea what's going on for stuff. Sometimes like situations Devil May Cry, obviously.
Oh, just sort of crazy fantasy violence.
Japanese,
yeah.
I have no idea what the hell is going on, Bayonetta style type stuff, if you will.
Right.
What platform is it on?
Just for jiggly boobs.
I didn't realise that was a platform.
It is its own.
Wow.
It's its own genre.
Best platform ever.
Unfortunately, it's a PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360 only.
Yeah, but it's so nice you probably get it for cheap nowadays.
Yeah, I would love to continue playing it. I wish they could make us obviously a game, even if you just like update it,
Make us
HD
think
it.
the game.
Just keep releasing it.
Yeah.
Just do a
Keep
thing.
releasing it.
Every
Just
generation.
Yeah, literally, I would buy it. But yeah, it's amazing, and I love it, and I want to keep playing it, and I haven't, and I cry every time.
What was that other game we were nerding out about the other day? The slow-mo one, where every time you move, time passes.
Oh, Super Heart.
That's it. Super
Oh,
Hard.
yeah.
That game looks
couple
fantastic.
of,
Have you seen it?
Yeah.
A ton of YouTubers have played it, and for those of you who don't know who it is or what it is, it's first person,
Yeah. Combat.
very basic in colour. It's nothing much.
Well, yeah, it was all
Isn't
grey
it-
scales and
it's
white,
very
and all the
geometric,
enemies were very
isn't it?
red.
Red,
And you were
Yeah.
blue.
Yeah.
Was the character blue or were you red as well?
I don't think you know.
Each of the enemies had. You see your arms occasionally, but that's it. I can't remember.
thought you were just plain white.
Every time you move, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's the time
basically time stays still when you're standing still, but then as soon as you move, the world moves with you.
Yeah. It's got some great level design, and the enemies come at you from all angles, and they've all got their own weapons. And as you attack them, you can then collect their weapons. So I think it starts out with a simpler attacker to begin with just a simple knife.
Yeah, and then mainly, and then it goes up to like
it builds up to
pistol,
automatics and things.
Assault rifle, shotgun. There's also, since the game is now,
there a grenade?
I don't think there was, but now since the game has, I think it's been officially released now, or at least it's somewhat public because I know obviously YouTubers have been playing it. Markiplier, Jacksepticeye.
Yeah, there's some press packs that have been released.
Melee weapons are now a main thing of it because I think you were only able to punch in the demo one. Samurai swords which you can throw and then pick up because they just get launched into the ground. And enemies are just like in.
But some of them shatter as well.
Yeah, I think you got like glass bottles and stuff like that that you can throw. You also just pick stuff up.
Kunai as well.
There's also like miniature mods you can play, like Big Head mode is always a fun
addition. That you unlock as you play.
Yeah, you can unlock other mods depending on the amount of kills you get during the game.
So you can do things such as
story
switch
mode.
the mechanic.
Yeah. Well, that's also counting as story mode. Also counts, and or you can also play horde mode if you just want to rack up them kills going on and on and on. And they'll get obviously. The more waves you do, the harder it gets. The more enemies and stuff like that. Sometimes more bullets will take you more to kill as well. So
it's quite an interesting game then as far as it goes because it revolves around that central mechanic.
Yeah.
But then you can flip the mechanic so that it goes the other way around and that if you move, it's going slower and obviously if you stop moving, it goes faster.
There are,
and different things like that. So you can make that game whatever you wanted it to be.
Yeah.
You could turn it into a fun game with friends. You could turn it into a drinking game even and do it round by round. That would be very good fun and get very difficult to play, I'm sure. So at least it would end and you wouldn't be playing until dawn.
Play it high. Oh my god, could you imagine that?
Oh god, that'd be trippy as hell.
No, but like the lag, as in like, you know, you stop and then you move and then you'd be like...
I don't know, unfortunately, Jess.
But I mean, like, you can...
Moving on.
Well, I mean, you can completely switch it up, so you can have it where when you stand still, it's still real time. You could have it... I think when you stop, you could also have it where time moves just a little bit slowly. That's the default feature.
Yeah.
But when you have it... when you stand still, time completely stops at all times. Nothing moves. You can have it where...
I think it moves super slow though on the basic setting.
Yeah. But I mean, you can have it where... I'm trying to think now, where you get like no melee kills, no range kills.
Yeah, you have to use certain weapons or you can't use others.
Yeah, Big Head mode is always one of mine. As soon as that's a feature in a game.
Sorry, we've got some very mature children at the table here. Big Head.
Yeah.
No, it's not that.
It's not that.
I know it's not that. You've been laughing for the last 5 minutes.
Are you still talking about the getting high bit?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, right, okay.
When am I going to talk about my game?
Rhiannon, what game have you been playing? I'm so excited
You
about
left
playing.
the best to last.
How
Okay.
rude.
I swear to say, if you say life is strange,
I'm not going to say.
No.
I
would just walk behind you and stop the recording right
I
away.
was going
release.
to. I was going to. The game I have chosen was released yesterday. We're recording on the 29th. So it was released on the 28th, I think, yeah.
Yep.
It's a game called Orion. I've been following this for a while now. It's like a sci-fi visual novel where you play as a guy called Sam and you get this message that your homeworld's going to be destroyed. And it's like it's a non-linear multiple choice sort of game where you go and depending on what decisions you make, it changes the outcome of the game, I assume. I haven't played it yet, but I'm very much looking forward to playing it. I've heard it's fairly short, but for what you get, it's really high quality. Now, being an audio nerd, that is what I was like most hooked on. A couple of the guys who made it, Jonas Scott and Ruben Lack, just to name a few. I've followed them for a little while and seen a couple of their projects, and it's just really, really good quality. Everything from the soundtrack, the voice acting, and then on top of that, you get this this almost Ren'Py feel of the game. Like it just looking at the screenshots, it reminded me from back in college when we did our Ren'Py games. and I
Mike is cringing at the memory.
Mike hates Ren'Py.
Not coding, man.
That was the only project I coded that I thoroughly enjoyed. And other than
Yeah.
that, it was
And
like
I think that was just
unreal
because of the genre
blueprints.
itself. But the thing is that you're so excited about
I'm
it in
so
so many aspects that I
excited.
reckon it's probably going to play like a fucking vegetable.
No, it's going to be good. I have.
It's going to
good
be about
hopes
as
for it.
much fun as
I've
playing
not-
Tetris on a carrot.
No,
with Ted!
it's had good reviews. I'm looking
She'll
forward
just
to
come out of a
it.
room and cry. I can't even play it.
Listen, I'll get the game. It's at the moment it's 10% off until the 5th of October on Steam.
Do it.
Just FYI. Another interesting thing, which is really embarrassing, is I actually auditioned to voice act in it.
Did you really?
Yes, I did. I do not have a fruitful career in voice acting, obviously.
Right.
But
You
yeah,
got a very
I
dirty
actually,
voice, and when you,
I have,
when
yeah.
you know people are listening, you put on a weird accent.
I really do.
If any of you guys ever heard Rihanna answer the phone.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, it's bad.
Oh,
it's
it's
like
funny.
Yes.
really awful telecom.
Hello, this is Rihanna Murphy.
It's true. Yes, so that's my pick of the week.
Yeah.
But yeah, really, really gorgeous looking game and really gorgeous sounding game. So fingers crossed it's going to play good, and I'll get it over the weekend. Next week's podcast, I'll see how it goes. I'll give a mini review, as it were.
Is there any games anyone is actually looking forward to coming out soon?
Life is Strange, Pop.
Tales from the Borderlands.
Well, that's naturally for you two. I'm just wondering, is there actually any games that
Any games?
What was that one that we were
Any
looking
games
at the other
at
day? And
all
it's kind of
ever?
like Heavy Rain looking. Horror, like.
Oh, Soma.
Yes,
Soma's
Soma.
released. Yes. That was another game that I almost featured on today's, and now I guess it is.
That's the one I thought you were
Um,
going to talk about.
Which is very much. Is it the guys who created Amnesia?
Yeah.
Yeah, very
talking
much
about it
like
earlier.
Amnesia
Yeah, we
comes
were.
Dead Space kind of feel.
Correct.
Not really looked into it, so I can't comment on
You
it
play
apart
a
from the
hipster.
Oh, okay.
What, like Life is Strange?
Yeah, like Life is Strange.
Oh, you're perfect.
Oh yeah, my kind of
If you
game.
hate hipsters, you can throw his camera. FYI. His camera's on like the bookshelf.
Oh my god, if we
You
ever
can
do
pick it up and throw
Yeah,
it.
you can pick it up and
If
throw
we
it.
ever do a recording of Soma, we're absolutely
You're going to have to
doing
throw
that.
it!
Really.
I'm absolutely just going to say
With no
fuck your
no
grapes.
narration at all. Just pick the camera up and throw it.
And then that's the
back to
start of the
game.
episode.
Done and dusted. That's it.
Sorted.
Alright, okay, that's the next thing on our list to buy, right?
Okay.
Are you
So-
sure it's
Go out,
that?
buy the
Wasn't
vegetables,
there-
and then we'll
wasn't
buy
there
Soma.
two different horror games.
The only one I've seen recently is Soma, where it's like sort of Bioshock
Okay.
underneath the water.
Oh, there was another one. Talk
Okay,
amongst yourselves.
okay.
I'm gonna
Okay,
Google
Mum.
it.
How long has Soma been out?
Not long. I think it was released this week.
Yeah, only a couple of days.
Or last
'Cause
week
it
even.
wasn't,
It's
it
Tuesday
wasn't
today.
released when we were looking at the videos, was it?
It was just released.
Just.
Is it
So
released
that was
here,
a
or
week
is
ago.
it- Is it?
Until
No,
Dawn. That was the other
Until
one.
Dawn is my babe.
Until
Okay.
Dawn.
Until
I
Dawn.
knew there was two different ones.
I didn't want to talk about that because I wanted to play it properly before I spoke about it on the podcast.
are
Because
you or have you played it?
I've avoided everything about it ever since I watched a couple of playthroughs.
Didn't we?
And we were like, stop.
Weren't we going to
'cause-
pick that up for the PS4?
Yes.
And we'll just
Yeah,
have
we-
a sit
we-
down.
we
Just have
are.
a
Yes.
sit down
We
session.
are buying it for the
Okay.
PS4. We're all just going to jam it. We're going to buy pizza and we're just going to sit until dawn.
It's a
Excellent.
date.
Literally until dawn.
Until
It is a
dawn,
huge
until
date.
dawn.
Huge orgy date. We'll do it.
Nice. Can't wait. Excellent.
What?
Panic.
I will end it there whilst we sanitise our front room.
Put down the
Thank
sheets.
you very much for listening to this week's Toolbox podcast. I'm Rianne. Today it's been Xena, Jess, and Mike, and you can hook up with us if you want to on the Facebook. With our Facebook and Twitter links, which is if you're watching on the YouTube link, it will be underneath the description alongside all the articles we've mentioned and trailers and the Dadtown comic, which we've shamelessly plugged.
And the
Um,
NBA.
and
then they're alright.
Make sure you go if you're living in the UK. If you're not living in the UK, you should definitely visit out the National Video Game Arcade, the only one in the country. In fact, the only one in Europe, I believe, where we celebrate video game culture. Thank you very much for watching, and we shall speak to you next week.
Bye.
Okay. Are we ready?
No, let's just go.
What are we talking about?
Right.